you know? Yo, what's up,
Yo,
Archie?
how's it going?
Pretty good. Not too bad. Just kind of
I
waking
want to.
up. Mhm.
Oh well, good morning. I want to say congratulations on getting that thing done because
Yeah, you heard about that? That shit's crazy,
I
right?
I talked to Duke Ramsey, Dr. Duke Ramsey. He's like, yeah, he died overnight. Lost skip, went to ICU, and that was it.
Yeah, that's a sudden.
Hell yeah, you getting shit done, baby.
Um,
Oh boy, what's next? What's going on?
um, so kind of depends, to be honest. Like, there's so many like little things happening. I haven't really like kind of figured out where I want to put my mind to. Like, on one
Yeah.
hand, I'm like disillusioned with this whole like. I still can't get over the fact that you got turned into a criminal overnight because of a missing police report. So I've been talking to Kit Archer, who's not a lawyer yet, but she's like
A paralegal.
yeah, she a paralegal, but eventually she become lawyer probably. But yesterday I talked to Max.
Oh, that you saw him? I'm shocked.
I was stalking them.
Oh. How about that little meeting they had, huh?
Well, that's what happened. So they had the meeting. Hold on, let me get out of my vehicle. They had a meeting like the day before, and we kind of crashed it.
Yeah, I saw.
And
the
then
water.
they had another one the next day. Now the thing is, truth is always somewhere like in the middle, right?
Yeah.
On one hand, there's a lot of people that are just like mad at Max. Some things. So okay, I straight up just so I was searching them down, and they were scared as fuck. They were like dressed up like a bunch of grinders and shit, and I caught them, and then I put out like they changed up in Mission Row, and I put out a tweet, and within minutes I had someone telling me what vehicle they were in, what they were dressed as.
Oh, I love the informants.
I then and was told like what direction they went. Unfortunately, I may have noticed some things that made me have to like not follow them for like an hour. And then eventually I went there towards what ended up being the tail end of their meeting. And I then pressed Max outside Mission Row and asked him what the entire debate was about. Now, what was kind of odd about it is like they were acting very like schizophrenic, leading up to this like hidden meeting under the guise that they might get killed. But then as soon as the meeting ends, like he's out in the open. So
interesting.
Yeah. So that still has me, I'm like 50-50 on that. Like, on one hand, maybe he got over the fear during the meeting, or they were actually hiding something. It's hard to know. Because the thing is, like, he explained it like all they're doing is preventing themselves from getting murdered, right?
Yeah.
While having a meeting. Okay, that actually makes sense. And then he was able to go over like a bunch of shit that they talked about that meeting, and it sounded pretty dry and boring. I'm gonna keep it real.
I mean, I can only imagine it's aftermath of what they would talk about at the previous one, which was what, impeaching Solomon.
Well, that's the thing. They didn't really mention all that much, and I wasn't gonna press him either. Instead, I've been going down the route of like calling him out for running a fascist government. But it was very interesting because this bozo tells me to start defining. Okay, so two things. One is I have good information pointing that Siobhan was coaching the prosecutor during the terrorism trial.
Interesting.
Yeah. And
she should not have been involved.
On camera was pressing her, and her husband kept like fucking helping her deflect away from answering the question because this guy goes and like, I think like he thinks I'm stupid or something.
Yeah.
He kept, because I started the entire conversation by saying like, they engaged me first, but I was calling them fascists. He circled back to what I had said 40 minutes ago, saying, wait, how are we fascist? Like, I'm like, bro, you ain't gonna deflect, motherfucker. So these guys deflected until the point that they started, before answering, asked Murphy if it was okay if she had theoretically coached him. Murphy on this like glaze season, I don't know. It was like third wheeling the entire time. It was actually very awkward. Yeah, I don't know. It was actually funny as fuck. You know, I genuinely don't even think he realizes it. Like,
yeah,
you know, but so
he doesn't care. I mean,
ended up saying, I forgot what she ended up saying. Like, I got drowned in the amount of deflection they were doing that I don't even remember what the fuck she said. But regardless, he tried to tell me to define like fascism, and I'm like, what?
Oh, great.
Like, bruh, like ain't nobody gonna be able to just define fascism. That's not how like those words work. Like, I don't know.
He's off on that one.
Yeah. But anyways, I think we're gonna try to expose. I think what I want to do is kind of like expose some of these things.
Sure.
I also want to tackle some of the police by just like filing a bunch of like civil lawsuit and shit. And
keep it going. You need to bring him down.
To do it. Because the thing is, the problem is like, what are we gonna do? Keep like shooting these guys? Like, that's not gonna do anything. You know what I mean?
I mean, they've been dying, so it's been working, kind of.
The one thing that the police seem to hate the most is like if you bring them to bench trial and shit. So
Yeah.
I'm out there trying to find the police doing dumb shit and I want to start bringing that shit to court. The problem is, the last week, every time I look for a judge, there's no judges around. So I don't think that's the bit that Max is trying to get away with. Is that when there's no judges and he's running the police department and there's literally no way to fight back, it becomes fascist. Like, I don't there's no other way to put it. And I think if you know, you can be on the copium that this isn't fascism, but you know, I bet
No.
You know, to use
I mean,
Max's own, you know, reference, you know, I bet the Germans also didn't like believe that originally either.
Yeah, they didn't believe this. I mean, come on, it's blatant that it is. So he's I'm all right.
Yep.
Yeah, and he's blinded by his own fucking.
No, I think he knows. Like, his reaction was pretty much like he didn't really deny it till the very end. Either because he recognized it or he didn't know what fascism was and he was like looking it up on his cell phone.
Yeah, give me an example, and then looks up. Yeah, they're out of it. I mean, I was speaking with Rick Richards, like Rick.
Yep.
He's a paralegal becoming a lawyer, and he had a conversation with Murphy, and I guess Murphy is quite paranoid right now because of everything going on.
Why?
And he's like, for his life, I don't know, because.
Well, the thing is, Murphy, I'll tell you right now, is Murphy was like with us for the longest time. But us, I mean Chang Gang.
Yeah. He was your lawyer, right?
Lawyer, among other things, friend, etc.
For sure.
But the moment there was a bit of a switch up, and it's hard to know exactly from my own perspective where that switch up was. To me, he went from being accused by Max as being involved to all of a sudden, I think he's so scared of losing his position that he's not lifting a finger against Max. And that's kind of where the fascism comes from. All these people, even I want you to put into perspective that even Cantor is pretty much seemingly not even batting an eye anymore.
No, after all the shit he said about her.
Exactly. The moment the pay changed, the flip happened. And that's what it is. It's like one massive Game of Thrones. And, you know, Max is able to flip these little switches here and there, change the legislation here and there. And the thing is, there's no one that can reasonably stop them because there are no judges, right? There are no judges. And as much as like, you know, Crane maybe, you know, like
Mhm.
having a short term, you know, is savior for this and that. Like I'm not on that copium, okay, until there's actually like check and balance, it's fascism. And you can be on as much like that.
I know.
That's the thing that kills me is like anything can look like something on paper, right? Like you can be like a I don't know. Anyways, I'm not gonna get
No,
into
I know.
this.
I know what you're getting at. And hey, all I say is I wish you were around yesterday, last night when John F. Government was going around and telling these.
Wait, who?
Some guy named John F. Government from the federal government was going around and talking to people. Rick told me he pulled him over and he knew everything about his life. I don't know. But
Wait,
he's
Rick Government? What the fuck?
some guy named John F. Government.
Well, speaking of actually, there was some like random nasally sounding guy in the meeting.
No.
And I asked who it was, and they said it was a new treasurer, and his name was like Greg or something.
Yeah, his name's Glenn. I mean,
Glenn?
between you and I, he hates this, but he's a fucking vampire, that guy.
Who the fuck is that? And how?
I didn't even know about this guy before he was hired.
I asked him what his
he's a
state ID
weirdo.
was. Wait, have you met him prior to the position?
Never.
Oh no.
He's an interesting guy.
I don't want to know who it is. Listen, guys,
He's definitely.
we don't do meta here.
He's gotten some things done. I'll say. He did help fund already the Pride events that were on hold for this month
that open.
because
Keep Discord open on
not
the
even
side
Max
for
was
any meta
helping
stuff.
with the money at the time.
You know what I mean?
So kind of is taking charge a little bit, but he does things I think slowly. But he seems like a pretty weird guy.
Shut the fuck up, Gibbs. That's retarded.
Glenn.
Retarded. Only meta if you use it in game. Fuck out of here.
You asked him what his state ID. What did he say? You said.
Sorry. No, I didn't. What?
No.
Do you know his last name?
Glenn. Let's see.
Uh,
Frugal. Glenn Frugal.
Okay, I'm going to courthouse right now.
Yeah. But yeah, as I was saying, Murphy is afraid for his life. This week, he said to Rick, "You will get your bar license by the next council meeting if I'm alive." So, yeah, I don't know. And between you and I, Tuggz,
Yeah.
I don't know whether this position just has a curse or the people who get it become lazy, or it's Murphy Braun in specific that I have my own opinions on him. I know he was associated with you guys quite well in the past, but he, just like Moulton, not only hasn't been seen, but has really done very little. I don't think he's even given a bar license out. He hasn't helped the lawyers with their pay. He's done nothing in this position, just like Moulton, and especially with the Civilian Oversight Board.
Well, it's kind of like, what do you call it? Well, you know, to be honest, like the government people here, not really different than anywhere else. You know, they get elected, they sit on their ass, and they get paid, dude.
He got elected, he went to bed, and he said if he didn't get elected, he wasn't going to come around again anyway. So,
yeah.
I don't know.
I mean,
Murphy's
they're
an
definitely a real
anomaly.
politician, you know? They get elected and then they just kind of don't do anything.
It's so frustrating. It's so fucking frustrating. Because towards the end of it, I was like, oh, this is the guy we're gonna get. I'm gonna put all we got into him. You know, making people like Roman vote for him with little to no confidence left anyway, and then he does exactly what we knew that was gonna happen. And so it's so frustrating at this point.
Wait, hold on. What the fuck is this?
I told you that, you know, that Murphy is. Oof, I don't know.
What the? No, I'm looking at this state ID 12911.
Who's that?
John F. Government. What the fuck?
It's the guy I
Wait,
told you about.
is this real or is this like a troll?
That's real.
No way.
That's
There's
that's
no
John.
shot.
That's John Federal Government. He came. He was around last night.
Yeah, I'm sure he's around, but like you know how sometimes like random people like come into the city
No,
and they're
no, I
like,
know. Well, I'll tell you this. Like I said, my friend Rick Richards, like Rick, trying to become a lawyer, was pulled over by John Government last night, and he knew everything about Rick.
wait,
He knew his name, his new
wait,
state
this
ID.
What was the last name?
Frugal,
Yeah,
Frugal.
I see him in the thing, dude.
Mm-hmm.
No, he's got a low state ID. This guy, who the fuck is he, dude? This guy's been registered.
Been around.
Yeah, what doing what?
Nothing. Doing nothing.
What the fuck?
He lurks in the shadows. He doesn't come out during the day because he's a fucking vampire, Tuggz.
What?
When you listen to him speak and you see the paleness in his skin, you'll understand.
Oh my god. What the fuck?
Uh-huh. I joked. I saw him the other day. I said, "Hey, could I have funding for a garlic processing factory?"
Yeah. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, I guess figuring out who the fuck this guy is probably the first thing, because that even makes it more sus. How this guy coming out of nowhere and he's got to vote on everything. You know, that's the thing that like, you know, is crazy to me, is that I want you to think about every vote that is on the console, okay? And I want you to keep in mind how much of that percentage is a vote that is for the people. It's the mayor, and it's the deputy mayor.
Yes.
That's it. And well, technically, the deputy mayor get to appoint someone, so that's like 3 out of 8.
I'll be honest with you. I'm quite worried, due to the fact of talking about impeaching Solomon, because that means they're bringing back Michael. Am I incorrect?
Yeah, and he's just a glazed lord, so.
He is. I mean, more than Murphy is to Max and Siobhan.
Yeah, no,
like,
he's. I mean, look, you were at the debate, so.
I'm not a fan of. How well do you know Michelson? How well do you know Michelson?
I know him to the extent I watched him at the debate, and he was just like, literally just. I don't know what the hell I was watching. It was just him like, pretty much doing a. It makes me pissed that I didn't know about election shit in advance, to be honest.
I know. But
look, I'm gonna be real with you too. I fuck with Solomon, but man, he's like, it's frustrating. He's also very frustrating to me because he also is someone that just does a lot of like dooming, but hasn't done anything. So,
exactly. I fuck with him too, but he's doom spiraled.
No, he's lazy. That's what it is. And I'm actually annoyed. Bro, I was in a conversation with him and Vinny, and these guys were just fucking doom spiraling. And when I'm like, okay, are you going to do something about it? They like look at me like I'm being weird. Like, I'm like, bruh. So that shit, like, I'm over. You know what I mean?
So I'm genuinely curious. This is for my acknowledgement. You don't have to tell me, but was Solomon part of that attack that happened? Because he wasn't shot, or was it truly out of
I have
fucking,
no idea. I don't know any of the details. I mean, so much of it is like bullshit that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, that's the reason they're impeaching, just because the guy ducked under a table or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah. So,
but
with all said and done, like, I mean, I get bored of just talking without any action. And so you can like, I don't really care who it is. If you haven't shown any action behind your shit, you're kind of just wasting my time, you know?
Absolutely.
So it kind of is why, like, you know, I can sit here and doom spiral, but unless you're like willing to do something, you can suck my dick. You know,
there's no point. Yeah. And no, you're real for that. I mean, you want to get things done. But yeah, I was just saying about Michael.
It's not real, bro. Like, I mean, it's like actually like gives me an aneurysm. You know what I mean? It's like,
No, I know.
it's like looking at, like, I don't know, like it's so like, it's boring.
No, I get it. I mean, then if nothing gets done, then what's the point?
Yeah, exactly. So that's me being real. I don't know. I'm not too worried about what's gonna happen next.
Yeah.
Solomon has a way out. Now it's a question of, is he gonna do something? And trust me when I say, I'm gonna be on his ass to do it. And if he doesn't, I'm gonna kill him myself.
Yeah. No, I believe it.
I'm actually serious.
I believe it. I know. What I'll say is, yeah, just so I can cover this real quick. And I have something funny I gotta tell you. You know, with Michael Simone, I mean, you know, who cares, whatever about him, but I don't know. You just always give me this weird vibe. When I was running, I told you that I was PD Glock was planted on me, to give me a felony, right, to drop me into the race. I told you about that. Well, I found out who did it recently, because they told me. But you know Reed Dankleaf?
Yeah.
Reed's the one who planted the gun on me. So one of them got him to do that.
Wait. Okay, so now I'm confused. I thought you got charged because Mandem used the gun.
No. This is a separate thing. No. When I was running for mayor, right?
Oh, sorry.
With you.
Yeah.
No, this is going back. I was kidnapped at gunpoint and brought to an alley in Vinewood, and they put HVAC parts and a PD Glock on me to kind of get me a felony before the election, because one of them sent these guys to do it. You know, they're goons. And one of the goons admitted to me, because I saw him the other day, Reed Dankleaf, that he planted the gun on me. I kind of found that out after all this time.
You didn't get charged though, right?
No, because Reed, and I was able to talk my way out of the situation, and I told them bullshit they wanted to hear at the time, so they took the gun back and the HVAC parts back, and he said he felt bad that he was doing it, but that just means one of them had them or hired them to do that to me. So that's kind of a personal thing I've been trying to figure out, but I figured I'd tell you because it's kind of funny.
Yeah, I mean, that kind of shit's gonna, that doesn't surprise me, to be honest. I mean, okay, anyways.
I didn't think a guy like Reed would be the one to do it.
I gotta get going, Archie, but we'll connect soon, yeah?
Yeah, we'll talk soon. Let me know if you need anything, all right? I'm around.
Yeah. All right, dude.
All right. Peace.